For my second career profile, I decided to research the court-appointed special advocate. And if you're looking for just that specific court-appointed special advocate, you're mainly going to be a volunteer. And let's see, I don't really know anyone in that career, but as I was researching it, I found it really interesting, and so that's why I decided to do my career profile on it. The working environment it's a nationwide organization, and it kind of varies depending on where you live, but basically the hours are dependent on what kind of case you have, but normally you can work about 10 hours a month on it. And then you have to go through a 30-hour pre-service training once you are accepted as a volunteer. And then as you are working in a case, you have to appear in court, but you know the dates beforehand. And you do have to contact families, and you're working with a child in specific, so it's pretty family friendly. Some typical stressors of it may be just the fact that you're a volunteer and you're not getting paid for the time that you have put into it. And then also something is you have to prepare documents of all of the interactions you have with the child and their acquaintances and family members and so forth, and you have to write it down and then present it in court. And then another thing that might kind of stress you out is making sure that the child you're working with is being taken care of properly, and that you're really being the advocate for that child. There aren't really any benefits for this particular position. And the common job tasks are you have to gather information about the child, you have to document your findings, and then you have to appear in court. You have to explain what's going on, so just explaining to the child what is happening in the court and everything. And then you have to be the glue between the court and the child, and you can recommend services, monitor case plans and orders to keep the court informed. So like monitoring the case plans, you're just making sure that everything's going as it's supposed to, and then keep the court informed, you're just making sure that the court knows of everything that's happening. Educational requirements. There's no educational requirements to be a volunteer. You can come from all sorts of walks of life, and they actually prefer that. And so starting salary, it's not anything. It's on a volunteer basis. Miscellaneous information is, it's a volunteer position, but with further schooling, you can get paid in a career in this particular organization. And for instance, there's a job opening for a director of state development, and basically you're just providing leadership and oversight over the development and establishment of strong state organizations. And so you're just kind of working in strengthening the state development for children and everything. And then and something in that, if you have a job like that, it ranges from $42,000 to about $50,000 a year. And then another thing is you're the child advocate basically in this volunteer position, and you're there to make sure that their voice is being heard through all of this, their court appearances and anything else that they need to be heard in. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the court-appointed special advocate.